Hey everybody, I want you to get ready for today's lesson. Make sure you have something to write with and something to take notes on because you are going to upload a copy of your notes about this lesson. So a good title for this lesson today would be Soft Power, Hard Power. We're going to explore characters' power because a really interesting way to think about your books and the conflicts in your books, whether it's historical fiction or you're moving on to some other sort of conflict, is this notion of power. So power is your title, and today's date, 5/5, is it the 5th? Yeah, the 5th, May 5th. May 5th, 2020, power and characters' power. And so the two types of power, one way to frame out a character's power is soft power. And so your next part of your notes would be about soft power. So soft power would be the kind of power that comes from the inside of a character. So if we're thinking about that, we would be talking about things like willpower and love and close friendships. Those are your soft powers, things that are within you. And your characters, so some of you are just starting books, but you have plenty of books to reflect on, as well as what were these characteristics like, for those of you who read Across Five Aprils, for Jethro. You know, he was sensitive, he was inquisitive, he was curious, he was loved, and he was loving, right? So those things were his powers, or the traits that made him a strong person. So I guess you're really looking for positive traits that help a person navigate their life in ways that are helpful and good and strong. So those would be your soft powers. But what all of your characters in your historical fiction books obviously face are these hard powers. So you frequently think of the power outside of the situation, outside of the person, as hard powers. And I've actually you can take notes on these and list them. There's also I've also uploaded a little cheat sheet. So, you can scramble and write as hard as you can right now, but also think about hard powers like violence, our physical force, or money, or things that are acting on, or political situations. And right now you would say, a hard power would be governmental restrictions, right? They're coming at you from the outside. And so one thing I'd like you to investigate about your characters as you've just started to read on Monday, and you're continuing to read today and tomorrow, because tomorrow I'm going to give you a reading day. This is what I want you to come and explore when you meet back with your groups. This notion of soft power, what's going on inside a character that is helping them face the powers from the outside. And it also, when they initially start, you may not have a good grasp in the beginning of the book of what the powers are that are going to affect the character as you go on. So again, as always, you can explore the book that you're starting out with, and in the exposition of your book, you may already notice some, in every single detail, to go back to an earlier lesson, every single detail that an author is including for a reason. These are expert authors. These aren't, people who are writing fanfic, in a matter of a week. These are beautiful books where every single word is carefully chosen, every sentence is carefully constructed, every image, every symbol, every bit of dialogue really matters. So you could, if you wanted to, just look at the initial book and see, what powers am I starting to see emerge from my own character, and also what do I suspect. And it's really good to become a person who's starting to be like, I have some ideas about what might happen here. I'm going to go ahead and bravely jot my thoughts down on that. So over the next couple of days before you meet with your groups again, I really want you to explore the powers that you're noticing within your character, and then the powers that you're suspecting from the society or any other external hard power are going to be at play in the conflict. And that's just a cool way for you to start thinking about your books, not just this one, of course, but as you continue to grow as a reader, soft powers versus hard powers might really work for you as the way you think about your books. And also, again, always it's good to think about, take yourself a step back and think about your own life and what are your soft powers? What are your traits that you take forward into your life, or your gifts? You know, in some cases, it's just a really supportive family, or it's, you know, a sibling who's nearby who helps you get through things. You know, those are your soft powers, because not everybody has that. And not everybody has what you have. And so taking stock of that and knowing what you're facing right now. And, you know, if you're, and some of you have even shown me some real forward thinking about, hey, how is my life going to look? How is this illness going to affect me, not just today or next week or in June, but maybe in August? Some of you were even asking me that, or what might that look like for my 8th grade year? Like starting to think about the hard powers that are on the outside of you. So those are some things I want you to think about today, is power. And think about it in terms of your books, but also in terms of your own life, which is always a really smart way to look at literature. We read to know that we are not alone. Am I right? All right. So I will definitely see you guys. I can't remember if I have a meeting scheduled for Thursday, but for sure we have Friday. And remember that Friday we're going to have Bring an Adult to Work Day. So you think about who you want to invite to our party. Okay? Talk to you soon. Bye. How do I stop recording?